Lysol, right? This is a brand we probably have heard a lot about recently with all the COVID stuff going on. It's a brand, right? Well, how do you tell whether a product is patented or trademarked? How do you find out? What do you look for? Did you know that Lysol actually has a registered trademark? And how would you know that? Well, it's got a R with a circle on it. Crisp Linen has a registered trademark as well. How did they get that? Let's talk about it today. I'm JD Houvener, Managing Partner and CEO at Bold Patents Law Firm. And today we're going to talk about how to look for products and know whether they're patented or trademarked. What to look for, how to do that research. So this video will cover a lot of different subjects, and I know you may not be able to sit through the whole video. So please look at the bookmarks and the timestamps below. And what we're going to cover today is 4 major topics. On the patent end, how to do the research on the actual product that you're holding and looking at it to tell whether they have patent rights and what that means for you. Then how to do the research online, whether they're looking at products they've listed on their website or on the USPTO or Google Patents website to see what rights they might hold for that specific product. Then we're gonna look at the trademark side for the next 2 components. Trademarks on the actual product, right? How have they got it labeled? What does that mean? Where to find it? And what does that significantly mean for you in your own business? Then, of course, trademark searching. What about that company or that product can you find out online? Where to go look to research what rights they have on that specific logo or word mark. All right, let's jump into it. So with that bookmark in mind, the first subject is going to be patent research on the product. What have they got listed on there? Now, the most common way to label a patent product is going to say patented, then the number, right? And so there's 2 different ways to do that. It says US patent, and it'll say D, the letter D, and then a set of numbers. If there's a D like dog, that means there's a design patent on that specific product. Design patents are just not that prevalent. There are not that many design patents out there. I think today, as I record this video, there are fewer than 1 million. Now, that may sound like a lot to you, but on the utility patent side, there are over 11 million utility patents that have been issued. So more than 10 times as many utility patents than design patents. So if there's not a D in front of that, and it says US and then what'll be a 7-digit number, or maybe even a 8-digit number out into the 10 million plus range, that is like the utility patent that they own. Now, if they don't have a number, right? If it doesn't say US patent and then a 8 or 9-digit number, you will want to then look for patent pending. Sometimes it's abbreviated as PAT pending, PAT dot pending. So if it says that, all that means to you is that they have filed a patent application. What you've got to understand about that is that it could mean a provisional patent application, it could mean a design patent application, or a non-provisional patent application. And the tough part about that is that you're not going to be able to know when they filed or what kind of application it is unless it's been published. And in the US, the patent applications that get filed don't get published for 1.5 years after their submittal. And sometimes they never get published because it's a provisional that doesn't get followed up by a non-provisional 1 year later. So a little bit of background on provisional versus non-provisional. A provisional is a less formal version of a utility patent application, and it must be followed up by a non-provisional patent application within 1 year. If it's not filed, that provisional gets abandoned and actually never gets published. But during that year, you bet it is totally legal for that company to put on their products patent pending, because their patent is pending. They actually have filed their application before the USPTO, and that date is secure for just that 1 year. But if they never follow up with a non-provisional, that provisional is actually gone abandoned, and in truth, they're no longer pending. So it's a little bit of a misstatement for some products that if they actually have labeled patent pending, but they never proceed with that non-provisional, after 1 year, that patent's truly not pending. So let's jump to the second part of patent, how to find out whether a product's patented or not, is searching online. So you've got, obviously, hopefully you've got an image or online, or you've got the actual product in your hands about what you're looking at, finding out whether this is a patented or not. If there's no numbers and it just says patent pending, you can begin to do research on the company name, whether they may be the owner of that patent. And you can do so at the USPTO.gov or their public PAIR, which is the PAIR, the Patent Application Retrieval System. And the PAIR is quite extensive way to do a research on what's called the docket, also called the file wrapper, the history of that patent application. As I said, that is not public record until 18 months of that filing the original application. So you can go online and you can do some research on your own. Of course, you can hire a professional to do that research for you to see, is this company really out there? Do they actually have a patent that's truly still pending, or have they abandoned their rights? That's all available for you to at least explore on your own first before hiring an attorney. And I do recommend that you start some of that to get familiar with the process and at least get understanding of where you're at in comparison to this product that you're holding. So that's the patent side, and I'll do a quick summary. Again, if you're looking at the actual product and it says patented USD, the letter D, and then a series of numbers, that's a design patent, and it covers the ornamental features, okay? It covers just what it looks like. If they don't have a D and they've got an 8 or 9 digit number right there, that's a utility patent, and they own the functionality of what that product does, not necessarily the way it looks. Moving to the trademark piece, I want to talk about looking at brands, okay? So let's look at the Lysol example I just gave you. Looking at a product that has a well-known brand like Lysol or who knows, Arm & Hammer, right? Those products are likely registered, okay, because they're well-known. Registration requires that you submit a proof that you're using that name or that logo in commerce, right, in the market. And you've got to demonstrate that you're the only one out there using that name for your specific niche or industry. And so once you've done that and proven that to the trademark examiner, you can get a registration, but only then will you be able to put the R with the circle. So if you see a brand, a logo, or even a overall architecture that has a symbol that has an R with a circle, that means they've got a registered trademark, and you better watch out, right? Anything that's similarly arranged or looks or sounds like that word for the same industry will likely be an infringement of their trademark rights. If you just see a TM, okay, a TM, that's used in essence like a patent pending. It's a trademark pending, meaning they're using that name in the stream of commerce and they're letting people know that they're using this mark, but they haven't yet gone through the process of getting examination of that by a trademark attorney, by the USPTO. They have not yet approved it to be a registered mark. They're likely well on their way to getting that. And there is some enforceability under trademark law side where you can actually take someone to court and enforce your rights even at that pending stage. So I won't speak too much more about the litigation side on trademarks, but there is more power in using that TM if you're intending on using that mark for registration later. Of course, aside from the actual product, like we just looked at with this Lysol container, you can look at more than just this what's on the container itself. You can take a look at the company online. Now, the way you do that is by looking at the TESS, that's a Trademark Electronic Search System. You can also, of course, look at Google and put in the product name and see, is this truly registered? Can I really count on that? And sometimes, right, a product is that you're holding may be old, right? The labeling on it was printed years ago, but they legally don't have the rights anymore. And with trademarks and with patents, it's true that you must pay to maintain your rights. And so you have to pay to update and maintain that registration status. And it could be that they've let those rights go. They've moved on to a different company name or different logo, and those rights may have gone abandoned. And that may mean that you could be able to grab onto that name and use it for your own commercial purposes. So I hope this has been helpful for you. A quick little roadmap of looking at the patents and trademarks that are listed or maybe listed on a product, and how to do some research to find out what that means in terms of trademark or patent rights for you. I'm your host, JD Houvener, and I'm a managing partner and owner here at Bold Patents Law Firm. It's been my pleasure talking with you here today. And I want to let you know before I go that if you've got time and you haven't yet done so, please visit our website at boldip.com and grab a copy of my book, Bold Ideas, The Inventor's Guide to Patents. That book is going to give you a lot of the insights on all the areas of IP, including patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. Have a great day, everybody. Go big, go bold.